Jestem Błażej Gałkowski z agencji wydawniczej Imprint Media. Jest z nami tutaj Ralfa Knegtmans, autor książki Zwinny Talent. Ralf, tell us about the book Agile Talent.
The book Agile Talent is about how to identify talents in a very fast changing world, and mainly based on technology. It's changing faster than ever before, and we all need to adapt to new circumstances. And organizations and companies cannot change themselves. So the best way to change is by identifying future-proof talent. Agile talents are talents that are able to continuously learn from experience and implement what they've learned. And it also may imply that you have to give up what worked in the past. So learning also contains unlearning, and unlearning is extremely difficult for people. So organizations need to change because we can't rely on what worked in the past. And you have to bear in mind that 70% of today's top performers miss critical attributes to their success in future roles. 70% based on research of Harvard Business Review.
So is there any practical advice in the book?
There's a lot of practical advice, and one of the advice is that you should not just identify talents on their skills and competencies, but also include their personality traits and their primary social motivations. And this is a cocktail of learning agility, adaptability, curiosity, resilience, things like that. And so it's completely different than the selection criteria we used in the past. And based on scientific research by two Americans, Smith and Hunter, I assure you that the predictability of future success of candidates will hugely increase. It will never be 100%, but it will dramatically increase if you include not only what people can do, their knowledge, skills and experience, but what they want to do, who they are, what they want to do, and like I said, new criteria like the need for feedback, curiosity, learning agility, adaptability, skills, etc.
The subtitle of the book is 9 Crucial Steps to Selecting Tomorrow's Top Talent. So you present a method, you present a strategy that can be applied in practice. Like, how do you know that this strategy actually works?
Well, first of all, I'm in this business for almost 20 years now, and I've made many mistakes. And I was as fortunate as looking at my own mistakes in the past, from the past, but also sharing during discussions with customers their mistakes. And what I did, I combined my own experience with the mixture of experiences of customers with scientific research. So we interviewed CEOs, we interviewed practice leaders, we looked at our own experience in 2 decades, and we looked at scientific research from Harvard Business Review and other scientific researchers like Smith and Hunter, who did a meta-analysis of the predictability of selection tools, both isolated as well as in conjunction with each other.
Could you give an example of an organization or a company that has actually managed to implement the changes that you're advocating in the book?
One of the organizations that directly springs to mind is ING. I know ING for over 10 years now, and they came from being a very traditional, large financial organization, a bank, a big bank, so to speak. And they've changed the company into a tech company where the agile way of working is implemented in various parts of the organizations, where they're now working with multidisciplinary teams, tribes and squads, and they're working in small sprints. And this is more or less a trial and error situation, where in order to find new solutions for customers, the multidisciplinary teams work together and create new products and developments for customers in a very, very short period of time.
So they are an example of the modern way of working.
I think that's a wonderful example of a very big organization that managed to change and that realized that they need to change in order to be there for the next decades. And if you don't change, you will become the next Nokia or Kodak, big global brands that almost or really disappeared because they were not innovative enough and they didn't have the learning agility to look at tomorrow's world.
But that's an example of a huge organization, right? It's a huge global organization. How relevant do you think the advice in the book is to smaller businesses, maybe even small business owners like family companies and such?
I would tend to say that it's perhaps equally important. What I found out based on the sales of the book in, for instance, the Netherlands, is that although I expected in the beginning that it would mainly apply to employees and large corporates, it also got a lot of attention by small and medium-sized family-owned businesses where founders are now massively about to retire. Those are thousands of companies in the Netherlands, and we have an ever-graying population in Western Europe. So this does not only apply to the Netherlands or perhaps Poland, but to many, many countries in Western Europe today. And those founders would like to leave behind a legacy. They would like to leave their company in good hands, so to speak. And for them it's crucial to find a very good successor that is future-proof, and they can't afford to make a mistake. This is in the majority of all cases not about money for them. They want to leave behind a legacy, they want to leave behind a company, and it's their baby, their child, and they want to make sure that it will be there in the next 2 or 3 or 4 decades.
Ralf, thank you very much for coming here to Warsaw for the promotion of Agile Talent. A książkę Zwinny Talent można kupić na stronie www.zwinnytalent.pl. Zapraszamy.